just open. And this one, you can take too, Britt, if you want it. All right, here we go, Proctor Rails and Hibbing Chisholm. I think it's the third time we've met this season so far, with Hibbing coming away with victories in both of those. Starting off with Dunbar on the draw for Proctor. He is flanked by Simonson and Tallarico with Nimmons and Kaderlich on defense. Rails will come away with that off of the face-off. Nimmons sends it over along the boards. He'll carry that one in. They get stripped. Dunbar. There's one defender. Dunbar to the corner. That's knocked off of his stick behind the net. He picks it back up. Hibbing will dump that along the boards. Look for a line change for their defenders. Kaderlich tries to send that along the boards. Hibbing's going to break that up. Nimmons over in the corner. Nimmons along the boards. He's looking for Tallarico. Hibbing's going to intercept that. Send it back down along the boards behind the Rails net. Nimmons there in the corner. Chips it up. Hibbing's going to stop that one from leaving the zone. Dunbar will get a stick on it. Can't quite clear the zone. Nimmons will send that one up to Dunbar in neutral zone. It's taken off a Dunbar stick as the Rails are in a line change. Radzak steps in, picks it up. He's pinned against over near the boards. Dunbar picks it up to Olsen. Olsen gets a shot. Kick save wide of the net. Loose puck out front. Radzak gets a stick on it. The goaltender will cover it up for a whistle. Brzezinski on the face-off for Proctor. Radzak gets a stick on that, moves it up high to Olsen. Olsen back down along the boards to Dunbar. Dunbar back up looking for Radzak. Brzezinski gets a backhand shot off, bouncing puck out front. Hibbing's going to send that one over towards the boards. They're going to chip that past Burke. Olsen hustles back. Brzezinski looking to back check there. Hibbing sends that up way over the net. Radzak up to Dunbar. Dunbar doesn't catch that one. We'll turn over to Hibbing. Johnson back check there, takes that away from Hibbing. It's going to go cross ice to Olsen. Olsen tips it up to Fish and then has a collision there. Hibbing follows that up. They get a shot deflected by Grabko. Center pass out front to Hibbing. They lose an edge. They'll come away from the boards with that. They're going to carry that over to the other circle. A shot off wide of the net, picked up by Hibbing behind the net. Nimmons will step in and pick it up, moves it up the boards to Dunbar. Dunbar chips that one up out of the zone. Sorry for coughing. That'll be an offsides call there on Hibbing. Johnson takes the draw for Proctor. Flanked by Fish and Welty. Got Burke and Kaderlich on defense. Nimmons and Kaderlich. Kaderlich over to the board, sends that up along. We'll have an icing call coming here on Proctor. Johnson draws again. Johnson will send that over to the boards off of the face-off. Fish gets a stick on that, knocks it out of the zone. Welty on the chase. Hibbing's going to send that back into the neutral zone. Kaderlich will send it back up ice. Dunbar pressures behind the net, as does Tallarico. Tallarico gets a stick on that. Tallarico will come away with it from behind the net. He's pressured by two Hibbing players. Simonson will hold that one in. Kaderlich gets a stick on it. Hibbing's going to grab it, drop it, carry it out of the zone. Shot from out in the neutral zone. That's deflected by Grabko. Nimmons will pick up the rebound. Over to Kaderlich. Kaderlich back up the boards to Tellerico. Tellerico sends it up the boards, not able to clear it, and Hibbing will hold it in. But Kaderlich will pick it up, carry out. Over to Dunbar. Dunbar cross ice to Simonson. Simonson gets a shot. It's deflected up and out of play. Dunbar on the face-off for Proctor. Hibbing will control. Hibbing pass broken up by Olsen. Olsen will dump that down into the zone. Hibbing with control behind the net. Look to center that. Picked off by Simonson. Simonson turns it over to Hibbing, however. Burke will send that cross ice. Tallarico's going to pick it up, send it off the boards into the neutral zone. That gets past the Hibbing player. We'll send that up ice. Hibbing gets a stick on that. Should be a Hibbing icing call. Brzezinski on the face-off for Proctor. We'll send Radzak in to take that face-off. Dunbar early on the jump 2 times. Hibbing will stretch that cross ice. That'll carry along the boards. Olsen tries to hold it in. Hibbing's going to get a stick on that, get that past Olsen. Burke. Ooh, centering pass by Hibbing. Doesn't connect with anybody. Dunbar tries to hit Radzak. Hits Radzak in the skates instead, and it'll hold it into the zone. Dunbar chips it up. He's looking for Radzak, intercepted by Hibbing. Olsen has it in the circle. Olsen chips it up the boards. Radzak will get there, gets that one finally out of the zone. So Hibbing will get back on sides. And dump it in. Olsen's going to send it up to Brzezinski. Brzezinski sent over to the boards. He turns around, centers across the middle. Doesn't connect with anyone. And Hibbing will head back the other direction. Kaderlich on defense. Nimmons and Brzezinski chasing. Kaderlich will knock that down, sends it up high. Shot from under the blue line, deflected by Grabko. Kaderlich picks it up in the corner. He's bodied off of it. Brzezinski will step in. Hibbing's going to move that up high. They get a shot. Lots of traffic out front. That goes wide of the net. Nimmons will send that along the boards. That's going to get past the Hibbing defender. Rails are going to grab a quick line change while Hibbing circles around and heads back the other direction. They're going to send that into the neutral zone. Hibbing walks in. They get a shot from the center of the ice there. Grabko will glove that one for a whistle. Johnson taking the face-off here for Proctor. Nimmons will chip that up top. Hibbing's going to send that back on net. Hit traffic out front, deflect wide of the net. Kaderlich has his stick held up, so he's not able to get there. Johnson will step in and help, moves it along the boards to Welty. Welty chips it up, looking to clear the zone, but it's held in by Hibbing. Fish gets a stick on that. Nimmons has control behind the net. He's going to send that up the boards to Fish. I want to get past everyone down into the Hibbing zone. Olsen moves that up to Welty. Welty clears the defender. Welty taken down or loses an edge, I'm not sure. Hibbing sends that up. Olsen sends it back down to Fish. Fish along the boards. Welty will get there, hold that in with the skate. That one's going to get out of the zone. Olsen will be there. Olsen cross ice to Tallarico. Tallarico back over to Burke. Burke to Olsen. Olsen will chip it up. Turns it over to Hibbing. Hibbing will come away from the boards with that. Johnson will poke that away. Hibbing does get a shot on. Deflected to the corner by Grabko. Hibbing gets there first. Hibbing will chip that one towards the net. Burke sends it up along the boards to Tallarico. Johnson will pick it up, chip it out. Hibbing will work to get back on sides as they have control of the neutral zone. They'll chip that back in. Olsen will pick it up. Olsen turns and burns. Turns it over to Hibbing in the neutral zone. Dunbar's going to pick it up, center ice. He'll carry that down to the corner. Dunbar centers to Tallarico for a goal. Beautiful. Tallarico with the goal off a Dunbar assist. See if the highlights are working here. I'm not sure if they are. Let's check it out. Yes, beautiful. Oh, right before the shot it cut off. Okay. Hibbing will control off the face-off. They get a shot, hit the side of the net. Simonson up ice to Tallarico. Tallarico loses a glove. Hibbing will center, nobody there. Katerlick's gonna get a stick on that. Sends it up out of the zone. He's looking for Dunbar up ice. That gets intercepted by Hibbing. Ross has a good announcing voice. You can actually understand him. Just confirming that was Tallarico from Dunbar. Nimmons picks it up as Hibbing chips it down low. Dunbar will catch it near the blue line, moves it across to Simonson. Simonson will carry down to the corner. Simonson gets a shot. That's going to get in. I think Simonson's shot was knocked down by Dunbar. Kind of hard to tell, to be really honest. Maybe the replay will have caught it. No, I need to wait longer, I guess, on the replays this time. I think that would be a Dunbar off of Simonson. Brzezinski draws for Proctor. Hibbing will come away with that. Picked off by Olsen. Hibbing will pick it back up and send it down low. They're going to walk away from the boards. Loose puck out front. Burke and Brzezinski pin against the boards. We'll have a whistle there. That was Brzezinski draws. Hibbing will step in and pick that up off of the face-off. Burke grabs it, moves it up to Radzak, center ice. Radzak tries to pin it against the boards. Our Dunbar steps in, takes it. It's taken off a Dunbar stick. I think that goal was credited to Blake. Hibbing, a little fancy there, tries to do a little spin with the shot. That's wide of the net, but Hibbing will pick up the rebound there. Brzezinski knocks that one down out of the air. Olsen looking for Dunbar center ice. It's picked off by Hibbing. Hibbing will dump that one to the corner. Burke in the corner sends that up the boards. It'll be intercepted by Hibbing. They'll send back down low to the corner, picked off by Burke. Burke tries to carry up and out. That's taken off of his stick. That one gets out of the zone. Hibbing needs to get back on sides here, which they do. Rails grab a quick line change. That timing was a little suspect there. Or unfortunate might be a better term. Rails will break it up though. Olsen sends it along the boards over to Nimmons. Nimmons gets picked coming out right in front of the net there. Scrambles to try to get control back. He's got two hitting players. They'll take control of the puck behind the net. Johnson will step in to help. Loose puck over to the corner. Rails can't clear the zone on that. Johnson has it in the corner. Hibbing in a bit of a line change here. Johnson will carry up ice. He hits Welty. Welty's going to turn. It's taken off of his stick before he can get a shot off. Johnson follows it in. Johnson trying to get a stick on it. Caught up in some skates. So Hibbing's going to head back the other direction. Center by Hibbing. They get a shot from the top of the circle. Hit their own player. Deflects over to the corner. Nimmons will send that over to Kaderlik. Kaderlik up the boards looking for Fish. Fish will tip that up out of the zone into the neutral zone where Hibbing will grab it. They're going to turn and try to send that back down to the rail zone. Kaderlik gets his leg on that and holds it in. Johnson has it center ice. Johnson carries over the blue line. Can't get a stick on to connect. Johnson and Welty in the corner. Johnson centers out to Hibbing. Hibbing's going to take control of the center of the circle. They're going to carry that up and out. Burke back on defense. Hibbing clears Burke. They get a shot off. Grabko's going to cover that one up. Dunbar on the face-off. Sends it over to the boards. Hibbing will send that back along the boards behind the rails net. Olsen whiffs on an attempt to send that further along the boards. That one looking for Simonson. Simonson doesn't grab it, but it does get out of the zone and the player loses an edge. So Dunbar is going to pick it up. Dunbar carries in over to Tallarico, just a step ahead of Tallarico. Dunbar will step in, pick it up, tries to center again. Tallarico gets a stick on that. Deflected behind the net. Simonson over in the corner. He'll send that along the board, see if Dunbar can get there. Dunbar is going to let Olsen grab it. Olsen chips it down low. Dunbar flips up high. Simonson centers. Tallarico gets some sort of deflection on it, but deflects it up and over the net. Dunbar there to the corner. Dunbar carries out. He's poked off of his stick in the corner here. One's going to clear the zone. It's not got enough for icing. Hibbing's going to get there first. They're going to dump that to the corner. Simonson back along the boards. Olsen chips it up. Tallarico gets a stick on it, but it heads back down the other direction. Center of the circle. Olsen trips up a shot there. Tallarico tries to carry that out as he's trying to body a man off the puck. Can't quite get it out of the zone. Burke gets a stick on that, sends it the right direction. Dunbar will get a stick, send it in a neutral zone. Dunbar across to Simonson. He can't catch that one. Hibbing sends that up the boards. That gets past everybody. Should be an icing call here. No touch on that. Brzezinski will be taking the face-off here. He's got Radzak and Dunbar with Kaderlik and Nimmons on defense. Cohen jumps in early there. Alright. Hibbing will take control off the faceoff. They chip that one around Nimmons. Kaderlik gets there. Back checks, but overruns the puck. Center right out front. He cannot connect on that. Up the boards. Hibbing's going to step in. They get a shot. Radzak gets a stick on that, knocks it down. Kaderlik will carry that one up and out of the zone. He's going to flip that one. We should have a... Nope, no icing, I guess. They said touch there. Stick by Nimmons. Hibbing gets a shot, hits some deflection. They get the rebound shot. Another kid right in front that deflects across the crease. Grabko saw it coming. Just Hibbing comes around with it from behind the net. They get a shot. Grabko's going to cover that up. Unchallenged shot there with just a couple of seconds left. Out of reach for any action here before the first period ends. So we'll end the first period with the Rails with a 2-0 lead. Shots on goal, Proctor with 6, Hibbing 9. Brzezinski will take the face-off for Proctor to start off the second period. It's held in by Radzak. He will chip that one, try to get past Burke. He'll get a stick on that, knock it down. That one will get past Burke. Olsen back, hits a stick on that. Shot wide of the net. Radzak picks it up. He's taken off of his stick over along the boards. Brzezinski will pick it up. Brzezinski chips it up to Radzak. Radzak looking cross ice for Dunbar. That's broken up by Hibbing. Hibbing's going to send that one down. Burke will grab it, move it over to Olsen. Olsen will carry up out of the rail zone. Olsen loses control of the puck there. Grabs it, he'll dump that into the zone to Hibbing. It's broken up by Brzezinski as Hibbing tries to stretch that across. Brzezinski up to Radzak. Taken off of his stick, they'll chip it, try to chip it around Olsen, they'll take him down. Bouncing puck will come out in Hibbing's favor there. They're going to move that in. They get a shot with a rebound, deflection by Grabko. Hibbing, centering pass. That is blocked by Olsen. Another shot. I think Hibbing hit their own player on that one. Hibbing will send that over to the other defender. They're going to take a shot. They got lots of traffic out front. That's wide of the net. Olsen will send that along the boards. Radzak gets there. Radzak up to Dunbar. Dunbar can't quite hang on to that one. He's going to pressure Hibbing in their zone. He's going to send that one. Olsen will send it back down. That'll be a rails off sides as Dunbar was on his way out of the zone for a line change. Dunbar facing off here. Hibbing will control off of that face-off. Tallarico steps in right away, gets a stick on that. Hibbing's going to get that one out of the zone. Ooh, broken stick for Hibbing. Oh, never like to see that. Ugh. They still get excited to see that though, because they're like, yeah, new stick. Is that yours? Oh, my apologies. Hate to see that. No. Is it warranted at least? No. You see that? stick, Hibbing stick busted in half coming through our traffic. He said it's his second one in a week. It was just a fluke too. It just kind of. Alright, get back on, B. Dunbar will tip that one to the corner. Tallarico there. Tallarico will take it off the Hibbing stick. Centers out to Dunbar up front. Beautiful. Dunbar up to Simonson. Simonson gets a shot off. Can't quite get a full stick on it though. Hibbing will carry up out of the zone through the neutral zone. Whoa, no clue where the puck is actually. Grabko snagged that one. Body kept going. Puck stops there. Thank you. Any clue where she is? Any clue where she is? Know where Camden is? No. Number over to Tallarico. Tallarico will dump that one into the zone. Hibbing's going to clear that one. Katerlik will send it back into the zone of a rails offsides. We'll have an intentional offsides call on that one. Johnson on the face-off. Over to the corner to Burke. Burke will chip it up. Welty and Johnson get sticks on that. Send that one out into the neutral zone. Hibbing will chip it back along the boards. Burke will send that one out of the zone. Bounces past Johnson. Hibbing player loses an edge or leaves a puck behind. Burke behind the net. Burke bodied off of that. Moves the puck over to Olsen. Olsen cross ice up to Welty in the neutral zone. Welty cross ice over there to Fish. Fish will send that along the boards back over here to Welty. Hibbing will get there first. They'll chip that one up past Welty. Be held in by Burke. Sent cross ice. Hibbing's going to pick that up. They were looking cross ice there. It was broken up by Fish. That could have been a little bit of a breakaway there for Hibbing's. There's that stretch pass. They've got an unmanned player here just out of his reach, thankfully. Come on, guys. Get there, get there, get there. Olsen down in the corner. Moves that up. Past Fish's stick, but get up into the neutral zone. I think he's going to send that back. Burke grabs it behind the net. He's got pressure coming from Hibbing. He sends that right across in front of the net. Should be an icing call here. Nope, no icing. Radzak will meet the Hibbing player. He pokes that away. Welty will send that down towards Radzak. Nobody out front. Loose puck. Radzak gets a shot. That's deflected as Dunbar goes flying somewhere across the ice. I don't know if he hit that or if Hibbing deflected it. Hibbing's going to stretch. And get past Katerlik. Get a shot off. Deflected by Grabko. Brzezinski picks it up out front. He's going to chip it up to Dunbar. Dunbar's hit. There'll be a penalty coming here on Hibbing for that. I'm guessing he's missing one. So Dunbar draws a, I think, roughing penalty there. Rails will have a one-man advantage here for 1:30. Hibbing has control behind their net. Dunbar picks it off. Sends it up to Katerlik. Katerlik back down to Dunbar. That gets past him. Hibbing's going to send that along the boards. He's chip past Nimmons. Dunbar tries to hold it in. Can't quite, though. He chips it back down, though. Dunbar picks it up again. Dunbar loses control of the puck in the circle there. Scraps and gets it back. Dunbar centers. Hibbing's going to pick that off. And they'll send it up out of the zone. It's knocked down by Nimmons, but Rails need to get back on sides. Let's go, guys. That one's going to get flipped past Katerlik. Hopefully Nimmons gets there. Oop. Nimmons will send that up here to Tallarico in the neutral zone. Tallarico tips it up to Dunbar. Dunbar centers to Tallarico. Beautiful attempt there. Hibbing's gonna head back the other direction. They got a 2-on-1 here. Oh, that one's gonna get past Grabko. Little off-speed pass and off-speed shot. Just connected enough to pull Grabko to the side, and Hibbing will get that one in to get on the board. What's wrong? What's wrong? Burke carries into the zone, centering pass. Fish gets a stick on that. It's deflected up and out of play. Johnson on the face-off there. Hibbing will come away with that. Olsen gets a stick on it, knocks it back into the zone. Pressure by Johnson. Johnson will step behind the net. Puts the pressure on there. That one's going to get chipped past Olsen. Burke gets there, manages to get a stick on it, sends it back into the center ice. Hibbing needs to get back on sides. They do. Welty is going to get a checking penalty there. So Reals will be a one-man disadvantage here again. On a checking penalty for Welty.
Kill it now, Rails!
Burke sends that one along the boards off of the face-off. Hibbing's going to hold that into the zone, however. Olsen will knock that away. Dunbar's going to pick it up. Sends that off the boards out of the zone. We'll have an icing call. Nimmons behind the net, sends that along the boards, Hibbing will hold it in. Tallarico will strip that. Dunbar picks it up. He's able to get it out into the neutral zone. It's taken off at his stick. Tallarico is going to grab it off their stick, but he's going to trip a man in the process. So Tallarico is going to have a tripping penalty coming. There's 31 seconds left in the penalty, 30 seconds here at the whistle. So we're going to have 3-on-5 at the Rails disadvantage for 30 seconds. Does he know that's on him? Jimbo? Having a discussion about the penalty here with the ref, I guess. right, so Tallarico will head to the penalty box on a tripping call. So 30 seconds of 3-on-3 and then another minute of 4-on-5. Or sorry, 3-on-5. Wishful thinking. Catterlick will chip that up the boards. That one will get out of the zone. That'll kill a little bit of time while Hibbing gets back on sides here. They're going to re-enter the zone. Shot wide of the net. Catterlick will try to pin that one against the boards. He loses his stick. That'll kill the first penalty here. Right as Welty back on the ice. There's a shot that was far wide of the net. Catterlick will block that one with a thigh. That looked painful. He runs into Nimmons as he tries to come across to help. Another shot. Grabko's going to make that save. We're going to have a whistle here. Good job, Gavin! Maybe lower leg. 39 seconds left on the power play here for Hibbing. Got Brzezinski, Simonson, Olsen, and Burke. That one's caught up in the ref's skates. Hibbing gets a shot that hits Olsen's stick, deflects, Grabko makes the save. Hibbing's going to pick up the rebound. Simonson will poke that one up high. Another shot from center of the circle. Olsen's going to block that one. 12 seconds left in the power play. Oh, nice save by Grabko. Rebound out front. Burke's going to pick it up. He sends that out. Hibbing's going to knock it down and hold it in the zone. Burke got a second shot there. That one's gloved, but it does get out of the zone. We have a whistle. What was that whistle? High sticky? Thinking a high stick. I think they called a high sticking on Hibbing. I'm not sure though, to be honest. Alright, so we are staying where we are with some unhappy Hibbing coaches and fans. I want to get out into the neutral zone. Olsen's there, sends it back up along the boards. We'll have thought an icing call coming, but no call on that. We're going to chip that one around Olsen. Burke gets there first. Burke up the boards to Johnson, or Olsen, sorry. Oh shoot, Burke flips that out. Hibbing's right out front. Brzezinski will grab it and send it out into the neutral zone. That one will be an icing call. If it gets there, it does not get there. So Hibbing will control behind their net. Oh, Radzak cuts that off. Radzak centers to Dunbar. Dunbar gets a shot, second shot. Not sure where the puck is, to be honest. Dunbar's on the ground. Radzak's getting pushed around. Nice pass, Dean! That's a good read by Dane. That's a good read by Dane. All right, Dunbar facing off here. Got Tallarico and Simonson, Nimmons, and old Catterlick. One's knocked off a Dunbar stick. Nimmons is going to step in and shoot. Rebound covered up by the goaltender. Talarico centers. Dunbar can't get a stick on that. He's going to carry that up and out. Offsides? I don't sound very confident, do I? Dunbar will chip that into the Hibbing zone. They're going to pick it up and send it back out. Katerlik, that one's going to take a bounce off of the wall. He does get there. Sends it up to Nimmons. Nimmons looks for Simonson. Somehow that one gets chipped out of the zone. Hibbing's going to pick it up, however. Talarico and Dunbar both pressure. Talarico gets a body into it. Going to be sent up the boards. I'm going to pass Katerlik over along the boards. They get a shot with a rebound up front off of the pipe. Loose puck. Dunbar over to Katerlik. It's knocked off a Katerlik stick, but he gets control back. Katerlik down in the corner. Katerlik gets a shot, rebound out front. Dunbar gets a stick on it. Talarico gets a stick on it. Quick whistle there. Loose puck still. Couple saves by the Hibbing goaltender there. It was loose, yeah. I don't think they could see from their angle. Johnson on the face-off. Hibbing will send that up the boards. Held in by Welty. Hibbing will stretch that to the neutral zone. Hibbing gets a shot. They got a player right out front there. Gets a rebound and gets that in past Grabko. Undefended man out front. Picks up the rebound from the first shot. He's able to get that one past Grabko. That's going to tie it up here with just a few minutes left in the second period. Let's go, boys! Pick them up out there! Hibbing will chip that into the zone. Let's go, guys. We gotta move. That was offsides. That one was clearly out of the zone there. No call on it, though. Johnson will knock that one forward. Welty in a foot race. Welty gets there first, gets a shot off center mass and covered up by the goaltender. That was out by a good 6 inches. Good hustle, Jace! Brzezinski on the faceoff. Over to the boards. Hibbing will send that down behind the net. Dunbar there. Dunbar looks to send it up to Radzak and be intercepted by Hibbing. Hibbing will come away from the corner with it. Hibbing's going to stretch that. Send that up ice. Hibbing carries to the center of the circle. Be taken over by Brzezinski. Brzezinski flips it up to Radzak. Radzak up to Dunbar. Dunbar back to Radzak. Radzak clears the defender. Radzak with a backhand. Loose puck out front. Got excited, sorry. Oh. The Rails couldn't get a stick on that. Should be an icing call coming here on Hibbing. Yeah. Hibbing will send that cross ice. Simonson gets a stick in it. Simonson, cross ice, nobody there. Dunbar will chip that back down low. Hibbing's got control. They're going to stretch this to center ice. You get held up by Katerlik. Nimmons will pick it up. Nimmons will send that back up to Dunbar. He chips it over to Tallarico. Tallarico back to Dunbar. Dunbar gets a shot. Glove save. Knocked to the side by the goaltender. Tallarico picks up the rebound behind the net. Tries to center that. Tallarico chips it up to Katerlik. Katerlik will send it back down along the boards. Dunbar behind the net. Dunbar out front to Tallarico. Will send that cross ice along the boards, be held in by Katerlik. Katerlik sends that on net, hits traffic out front. Tallarico will pick it up. He gets a shot. We'll have a whistle. Standing still in one spot. Brzezinski on the face-off. He's got Johnson. And Welty with him. Going to be chipped up past Burke. Olsen, the only rail back. Brzezinski also chasing. That one's going to get in. Rails defense got beat there. Olsen got back. He had a 3-on-1. Hibbing will take a lead here with just less than a minute left in the second period. Let's go, Rails! Burke sends out one cross ice. Hibbing's going to pick it up. They can't clear it out, however. Brzezinski grabs it. Be chipped at the boards. Now Hibbing's in position here again. If they get a breakaway, there's going to be a couple on one. Welty drops back though to cover defense there. That one's going to get passed. Here we go. Burke scraps and knocks that one down. We had, is that an offside? Hibbing offsides call, looks like. Olsen will grab that out in front of the net, sends it up the boards looking for Dunbar. That gets past him. Have another icing call here with 5 seconds left. Hibbing chips that towards the net, bouncing puck. Not sure where it is, but Grabco's gonna freeze. Less than 1 second left here, so I'm not gonna mess with my clock. 0.8 seconds left in the second period. Alright, that'll bring us to the end of the second. Shots on goal, Proctor with 17, Hibbing 23. Rails with a 1-goal deficit. I do believe we are going to ZAM, so we'll see you back here in about 10 to 15 minutes. top of period 3. Talarico will chip that down into the hitting zone. Hibbing clears Kaderlich there. They'll be knocked away by Grabko. Oh, glove save. Excellent glove save by Grabko. I'm going to see if I can catch that on a highlight. That one was definitely going into the upper corner if he didn't snag that when he did. Beautiful. All right, back in live play. Nimmons chips it up to Talarico. Talarico up to Dunbar. Dunbar will carry. He clears the defender. Dunbar gets a shot up the wide of the net. Owen hits a weird spot on the glass and pops back down into the corner. Simonson up to Dunbar. That's poked off of his stick out front. Hibbing will carry that one out into the neutral zone. Kaderlich chips that up the boards. Hibbing's going to come away from the boards with it. Come on, guys. Pick it up. Kaderlich picks it up out front of the net. Over to the boards. Chips it up looking for Simonson. Simonson doesn't reach that one. Nimmons will carry down into the corner. Nimmons gets a shot from center of their circle for a goal. I don't know if I caught that or not, to be honest. It was on the edge of the screen. Shot from low in the bottom of the circle for Nimmons. They'll sneak in past the goaltender. Yeah, there you go. All right, so I'll tie it up here. Carry into the Proctor zone, knocked away by Olsen. Fish follows it up. He gets a stick on that. He's bodied and puck taken away from him. Olsen will pick it up. He'll carry behind the net. Olsen up to Welty. Welty chips it around the hitting player. Hibbing will knock it back down. Burke will pick it up. He'll carry up over across the blue line. He's going to carry back into the zone. Back up to Welty. That's intercepted by Hibbing. They've got an undefended man here over in the center. That one, thankfully, doesn't catch that pass. And Fish will send that up into the neutral zone. Johnson gets a stick on it. Johnson clears one defender. Johnson shot with the glove save. John Mads! Pressure. Brzezinski takes the face off here for Proctor. Chips that up high to Burke. Burke sends that on net, deflected by the goaltender. Hibbing's going to pick that rebound up, move it up ice quickly. Send over to the boards by Burke. Hibbing has control. They center out front. Shot. Rebound by Grabko. He's going to get a glove on that one. Brzezinski sends it to the corner off the faceoff. Nimmons will pick it up, chip it behind the net to Kaderlich. Kaderlich along the boards up to Dunbar. Or Radzak, sorry. Radzak's going to carry that one up through the neutral zone. Radzak looking cross ice. He turns it over to Hibbing. Hibbing's going to send that one on net. Grabko's just going to cover that up. Yeah. Yep. All right, Simonson will swap out for Dunbar here on the face-off. Nimmons sends that behind the net over to Kaderlich. Kaderlich at the boards past Talarico. Maybe they'll send that cross ice in the neutral zone back up into the zone. Kaderlich will get that up out of the zone. Talarico knocks chips it back towards the Hibbing zone. Hibbing's going to send it back up ice. Hibbing can't get a shot off on that. Sends it far wide of the net. Dunbar will pick it up. Dunbar cross ice to Simonson. Simonson chips it up to Tallarico in front of him. Tallarico will get there to the corner. Tallarico drops it back to Dunbar. Dunbar whiffs on a shot. He's going to turn it over to Hibbing. Dunbar breaks up a cross ice pass there. Dunbar looks to chip back to Tallarico. It's broken up again by Hibbing. Nimmons will snake that one away to Simonson. Simonson has that taken off of his stick as he crosses the blue line. They're going to chip that past Nimmons. Kaderlich is back on defense. Kaderlich pushes him to the corner. Tallarico drops to cover out front. We got 5 rails all in the corner there. Tallarico's trying to send that up the boards. Hibbing whiffs on that. Kaderlich will pick it up. Kaderlich tries to get a shot off. He can't. Shot's broken up. Tips it back up into the circle. Hibbing's going to pick it up. Johnson will get there with the stick. Knocks it back to the corner. Johnson pressures. Fish will pick it up off the turnover. Fish gets a shot just wide of the net. That one will get out of the zone. Olsen has pressure coming on him. He's going to turn that over to Hibbing in the neutral zone. Hibbing's going to walk in, center of the circle. They're bodied off of the puck by Welty. Turn it over to Johnson. Johnson has that taken off of his stick out near the blue line. Fish will follow it up and carry it into the zone. Johnson will come away with it in the center of the circle. Johnson clears the defender, loses control of the puck. Johnson gets there, forces a turnover. Here's Fish. Fish, bar down! Should be a Johnson assist to Fish. Beautiful. All right, same line. We've got Burke and Olsen on defense now. Hibbing will move that center ice. They're going to get a shot. Grabco's going to glove that for a whistle. Line change will bring out Dunbar, Radzak, and Brzezinski. Hibbing center off the face-off, taken over by Radzak. Radzak hits Dunbar center ice. Dunbar turns it over. Brzezinski pushed him to the boards. Hibbing's going to send that up ice. They're going to get a shot from under the blue line. Hits Brzezinski out front. Brzezinski will carry it. He chips that up looking for Radzak. Far ahead of Radzak, though. Hibbing will take it over in their zone. Pressure from Radzak and Dunbar. Hibbing will dump that one from the neutral zone. Olsen's there first for the rails. Sends it over to Burke. Burke back behind the net. Brzezinski will pick it up. Brzezinski cross ice. He's looking for Dunbar. Hibbing's going to take it over. They get a shot. Glove saved by Grabko, thankfully. Good look. Dunbar drawing. Hibbing will win that face-off. And move that side to side. Send that on ice or on net. Kaderlich in the corner, bodies Hibbing off of the puck. Lets Dunbar step in and pick it up. Dunbar moves it up to Tallarico. He doesn't see it. That one will be sent out of play. I know. Got a little equipment malfunction down here for Hibbing, I guess. Dunbar pressures, Hibbing turns the puck over. Tallarico steps in, picks it up. Tallarico gets a shot, hits traffic out front. It'll be covered up by the goaltender. Kind of. A little loose puck there, but I think he had it covered there. Hibbing will win that face-off against Dunbar. They'll carry to the corner. Pressure from Simonson. Hibbing's going to get there, get a stick on it. They're going to beat Katerlich. Give him a little tap into the corner. No call coming on that, though. Centering attempt. Oh, Grabko with a big save there. Loose puck out front. Grabko, beautiful save. Simonson's going to send that cross ice to Talarico. Talarico carries over the blue line. Talarico down to the corner. Talarico centers to Dunbar. That's wide of the net. Talarico picks it back up, beats a Hibbing player. Kicks it ahead, tries to get it ahead to Dunbar. Dunbar can't maintain control of that. Dunbar pins him against the boards, lets Talarico come in and pick it up. Talarico up to Katerlich. Katerlich whiffs on a shot. Gets a second attempt, moves it up to Talarico. Talarico sends it on net. Oh, Simonson there, he just couldn't get a stick on it for the rebound. That one's gonna get past Nimmons. Thankfully Katerlich is there. Hibbing is on his tail. Nimmons will send that up ice to Simonson. Simonson will turn it into the zone. That's poked off of his stick, but Dunbar picks it up. Simonson gets a shot, loose puck out front. Talarico picks it up in the corner. Simonson gets a stick on that one, as does Talarico. Talarico sends it up high to Nimmons. Nimmons is gonna get past the player, chips it towards the net, over to the corner. Hibbing's gonna get there first. They send that behind the net. Simonson meets him there, but they get past Simonson. Dunbar gets a stick on it. That one's going to get out of the zone. Katerlich's going to play keep away. While the Rails get back on sides, he turns it over to Hibbing. Hibbing's going to get a shot from top of the circle, unchallenged. Center mass for Grabko. Line change will bring out Johnson, Welty, and Fish. Olsen and Burke on defense. Hibbing gets a shot from top of the circle, bouncing puck. Grabko deflects that to the side. Hibbing has control in the corner. They clear the rails, send it up high to the defender. He gets a shot that's up over into the corner. Olsen gets there first, chips it up the boards. Hibbing's going to hold that one in. Olsen chips that one up to Fish. Fish is past the Hibbing player. He turns that over to Hibbing. Fish is going to draw a tripping penalty now, too. So Rails will be shorthanded here. That's our danger zone. Dunbar on the face-off for Proctor. Shorthanded for 1:30. Hibbing will chip that up top. Grabko gets a deflection on that. One-timer, kick save by Grabko. Talarico will chip it back up top. Hibbing's going to hold it in, send that on point. Blocked by Olsen. Olsen will pick it up, send that out of the zone. 1 minute left in the Rails penalty. Going to move it around again here. That one shot wide in front of the net. 30 seconds left in the penalty. Dunbar gets a stick on that one, breaks it up, sends it out of the zone. Hibbing will get back on sides. 20 seconds left in the penalty here. Talarico gets a stick on that one. Hibbing will carry in still. Hibbing will send it down low. Loose puck out front. Picked up by Dunbar. Talarico went down, but Dunbar sends it up to Fish. We'll have an icing call. That will kill the penalty, however. Line change will bring out Dunbar, Brzezinski, and Radzak. Nimmons and Katerlik on defense here. Brzezinski will take the draw for Proctor. Brzezinski sends it over to the boards. Hibbing's going to come away from the corner with that. Brzezinski poke checks that away, moves it up to Radzak. Radzak will carry up ice. He is bodied off of the puck, but he tries to regain control there. Hibbing will walk in. They get a shot top of the circle. Grabko makes the save with the rebound. He's going to cover up for a whistle. Brzezinski draws again for Proctor. That one gets through Brzezinski's legs. They're going to send that right on point, deflected by Grabko. Oh, traffic out front. Loose puck. Nimmons is going to pick it up. He's going to send that way along the boards. We'll have an icing call coming here. No? Yeah, off to the side of the net. Line change brings out Johnson, Fish, Welty, Burke, and Olsen on defense. Johnson sends it to the corner. Burke gets there. Burke's going to send that up ice to Welty. Welty has Fish with him. It's poked off of Welty's stick. Fish is going to step in, almost holds it in. Hibbing's going to head back the other direction. Come on, pick him up, Road. Hibbing carries behind the net. Pushed to the corner by Johnson. Hibbing will send that back down to the corner. They are alone behind the net. There goes Burke. Burke tries to pin it. Burke sends it back the other direction. Olsen will get there. Olsen chips it up. Hibbing's going to hold it in and send it back down. Olsen intercepts that. Tries to chip it up and out again. Doesn't clear the zone. Poked off Hibbing's stick by Burke. Hibbing's going to send that towards but wide of the net. Welty will flip it up ice. Knocked down and held in by Hibbing. Burke gets a stick in that one. And he's going to move that side to side. They're going to drop that back. Get a shot from the circle. Deflection by Grabko. Try to center that. Broken up by Johnson. Hibbing sends it up high. Going to drop it back. Shot. That's off of Johnson's body, I believe. Burke will flip that one up down the ice. Not going to have enough for an icing. Rails will grab a line change here. Hibbing's going to head back the other direction. Simonson will break that up, as will Dunbar. Dunbar carries down into the zone. Dunbar center of the circle. Shot with a rebound out front. Hibbing's going to... Oh, yeah, nice job. Jasper gets a stick on that one. Dunbar in the neutral zone. Cross ice to Tallarico. Tallarico chips it up and chases. Broken up by Simonson there as Hibbing tries to send that up the ice. Simonson tries to center, broken up by Hibbing. Ooh, watch your stick, buddy. Hibbing will carry into the rails zone. And walk into the center of the circle. They get a shot that's deflected by Katerlik up and out of play. Let's tell Bennett to start yelling. Have timeout Hibbing here. right, here we go. Minute 48 left in play. Face off down in the rails zone. We've got Dunbar, Tallarico, and Simonson on the wings. Nimmons and Kaderlich on defense. Kaderlich picks it up off of the face-off, chips it up to Tallarico. It's going to be turned over to Hibbing there. Kaderlich poke checks that away. Hibbing sends that up high. And get a shot deflected by Simonson. And they send that back up high again. Pressure from Dunbar. They pulled their goalie. Simonson sends it towards the net. Hits the defender. Tallarico gets there first. Hibbing's going to send that up the boards. Knocked away by Kaderlich. Nimmons to the corner first for the rails. Sends that along the boards. He's looking for Dunbar. Dunbar chips it up. Sent back down by Hibbing. Dunbar gets a stick on it. Come on, Seeger, shoot it. If that can get in there, that's going to be wide of the net. Be an icing call. Same line. Another timeout here, Hibbing, I believe. Is that Hibbing? Either way, timeout. Dunbar on the faceoff for Proctor. Hibbing's going to come away with that. They get a shot towards the net. Oh, Grabko! I don't know if that hit the side of the net or Grabko, but Simonson will send that one over to the boards. No clue what's happening. Lots of bodies, lots of sticks. Rails have 6 men out there. We can't seem to clear it out here. Kaderlich will send that along the boards. It's going to be held in by Hibbing. They send that on towards the net, hit their own player in the skate. Nimmons will try to pin it against the boards. Nope, he sends that over to the corner. Oh, if that would have connected, we would have been in trouble there. Centering pass, that was across. We'll have an icing call here with 6 seconds. Centering pass, undefended man out in front of the net. Same line, staying on the ice. All right, Kaderlich will send it to the corner. Kaderlich's going to try to pin it against the boards. Hibbing tries to center. All right, that'll be it. Rails will pull off a win against Hibbing. 4-3. Shots on goal finished with Proctor 25, Hibbing 36.